Hi, my name is Yazan Ibrahim, also known as Yazan Abu Ghosh. Today we will talk about Chapter 2, Part A, IT Governance 2.5, Enterprise Architecture. If you've ever watched a skyscraper rise from the ground, you know that it doesn't happen by accident. Every steel girder, glass panel, and winding staircase starts on paper, or maybe these days, a computer screen. It's the meticulous blueprints, floor plans, and wiring diagrams that instruct the builders on how to bring the architect's vision to life. Now, imagine that instead of a skyscraper, you're trying to construct something just as complex, an organization's IT ecosystem. Enter Enterprise Architecture, or EA for short. Think of EA as the master blueprint for managing and aligning all the technology in a company with its overarching business goals. Just like in construction, if you don't have a plan, you end up with chaos. Systems that don't talk to each other, resources wasted, and no clear path to growth. But EA isn't just about organizing the present, it's also about charting the future. With EA, organizations don't just document what they have today, they also draft a vision of what the IT landscape should look like tomorrow, a roadmap to a more streamlined, efficient, and business aligned future. But why has EA become such a big deal in recent years? Let's explore. The need for enterprise architecture, finding order in complexity. Picture this. You're standing in the control room of a massive organization. The screens light up with data from hundreds, maybe even thousands of IT systems and processes. There's a system managing customer relationships over here, another handling your supply chain over there, and a complicated knot of older legacy systems that refuse to let themselves be completely replaced. It's like confronting a spiderweb spun over decades, with each thread pulling in a different direction. This complexity isn't an accident. It reflects the modern reality of businesses operating in a fast-paced, tech-driven world. But without a unifying vision, without EA, this complexity risks spiraling out of control. EA comes to the rescue by bringing order to the chaos, helping organizations make sense of their technological assets, and ensuring that every system and process aligns with their business strategy. And at the heart of modern EA, there's a name you need to know, John Zachman. The Zachman framework, the foundation of enterprise architecture. Let's travel back to the late 1980s. The IT revolution is kicking into high gear, and organizations are just starting to grapple with the sheer scale and complexity of their tech environments. That's where John Zachman steps in. Using a principle from the construction world, Zachman makes a groundbreaking observation. Building IT systems is a lot like constructing a physical building. Think about it. When you're constructing a building, different professionals step in at different stages. Architects work on abstract designs. Engineers get into the nitty-gritty of electrical wiring and plumbing. Then builders bring the whole project to life, one brick at a time. Each of these professionals needs tools and models, blueprints, floor plans, and technical diagrams to understand their role in the project and make sure everything fits together perfectly. Now imagine applying the same process to IT systems. Instead of blueprints or physical foundations, you have artifacts, diagrams, flowcharts, data models, application code. These artifacts help different stakeholders, managers, engineers, developers, understand and contribute to building the organization's IT ecosystem. But how do you ensure that all these pieces fit together into one coherent system rather than a fragmented mess? That's where Zachman's framework comes in. His model is like a grid or matrix that breaks down the IT architecture into structured cells, with each cell representing a specific view or detail of the system. Over time, the goal is to fill in this matrix, piece by piece, to create a complete and functional architecture. It's ambitious, but it's the key to making sense of its many moving parts. Of course, few organizations can fill in all the cells right away. Some pieces may remain undefined, especially at the highest levels, but the framework provides a clear path forward, a scaffold the organization can build on. Two roads to EA, the technology and the business. Developing an EA isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. In fact, organizations often take two very different paths to get there, the technology-driven path and the business process-driven path. Let's unpack what each one involves. First, there's the technology-driven approach. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a vast forest with no clear route forward. Now add complexity. Dozens of different paths all leading into the unknown. That's what modern technology feels like. Do you build your applications in Java E or Net? Should you virtualize your servers or dive into the cloud? And how do you modernize older legacy systems like ERP software without rewriting them from scratch? Technology-driven EA serves as the map through these woods. It helps organizations decide which technologies to adopt, which to avoid, and how to integrate systems so that everything runs like a well-oiled machine. But technology alone isn't enough. That brings us to the second approach, business process-driven EA. Imagine slicing a business into its core processes, right down to the nitty-gritty of what adds value and what doesn't. For example, in manufacturing, there's the supply chain, production workflows, and customer service. By breaking these processes down into their smallest parts and examining the technology that supports each one, organizations can find ways to improve and innovate. This approach owes a lot to thinkers like Harvard's Michael Porter and his famous value chain model, which highlights how businesses operate and create competitive advantage. The beauty of business process driven EA is that it aligns directly with what the company is trying to achieve. After all, technology exists to support the business, not the other way around. By tying it directly to business processes, organizations can redesign their workflows, identify gaps, and map their needs onto Zachman's framework to create the optimal mix of tech tools for the job. EA and IT auditing, a match made in governance heaven. So, how does enterprise architecture tie into IT auditing? Picture an auditor as a detective, combing through the organization's IT landscape to ensure it's running like it should. Without EA, this job is like trying to solve a mystery with no clues. But with EA, the auditor has a map, a structured guide that outlines what systems are in place, how they're interconnected, and what they're supposed to achieve. An auditor's job doesn't stop with inspecting individual systems. They're there to ensure that every system and process matches the bigger picture outlined in the EA, and ultimately that the organization's goals are being met. If systems are drifting off course, it's the auditor who rings the alarm bell. Why EA matters for the future. As we wrap up, let's circle back to the big picture. EA isn't just about documentation or diagrams, it's about empowering organizations to manage complexity, adapt to change, and create a technology landscape that's perfectly aligned with their goals. It's a master plan, a high-level vision, and a practical toolkit all rolled into one. Whether you're a tech-savvy developer, a forward-thinking executive, or a diligent IT auditor, EA has something to offer. So the next time you marvel at a tall skyscraper or a beautifully crafted machine, remember, behind every great creation is a blueprint. And in the IT world, that blueprint is enterprise architecture. Thank you for watching, and as always, continue learning. Stay curious, and we'll see you next video.